What is up, everybody? This is podcast Gameoverse episode 044 for Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. It is I, Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick. What is up?
Yo, what is up? I'm excited. We got a bunch of shit to talk about. A lot of cool stuff happened. Steve's and Smash Brothers, so that's cool. Yes, we got a lot of stuff to go over, man. But first, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a little game called clear my throat here. Little game called Genshin Impact. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, it was the Minecraft clone that's not just a Minecraft clone with gacha mechanics that are annoying, but the game's still fun. So tell me about it. Like, I saw the stream, but like in your words, you had quite a bit of time with it. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I put about 30 hours in. It became like really I'm gonna say it was like addictive because it really wasn't. It was just I don't know. It's a great game. Chinese gacha game.
Yeah.
Made, very much inspired by Breath of the Wild. Actually, some people have dubbed it Breath of the Waifu.
Oh, I haven't heard that yet. That's great. That's fantastic.
And that's basically what it is. It's Breath of the Wild, but instead of just Link, there's a bunch of different characters that you buy through gachapon mechanics. They're all just randomly obtained characters. They all have different weapon types. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. The biggest difference between this and Breath of the Wild is the combat, actually, which they did a very cool thing, which is all the combat's elemental based. Mm-hmm. So, you've got electric characters, you've got water characters, fire characters, earth, wind, and they all interact with each other in different ways. So if there's a ice based enemy and you use a fire attack on them, they'll give them melt status and that'll do a bunch of damage. If you take out a water character and wet an enemy, then take out an electric character and then use lightning on them, that'll do a massive damage. And then you can chain lightning from all the enemies that have lightning status effect. They'll get chain lightning across each other. So it's really you're thinking about what characters you have and how they can all interact with each other, because you can only build a team of 4.
Yeah.
So I think the team I have set up now is I've got an elemental water character, and then I've got 3 lightning characters, but they all have different weapon types. So one character can only use one weapon. So even if you have like a bow and a sword, like Link can use anything you give him. But each character can only use their weapon. So, there's claymores that are like heavy swords, bows. You can only have like the archers that can only use bows. There's like spears and stuff like that, and each character can only use one weapon. So I've got 3 lightning characters, each with a different weapon.
Okay, so that's cool. So it's not just the element; it's also the weapon type they're using can change between character. That's neat.
Right. And so a lot of people are going into this game. So I recorded a quick look of this on Friday, was it? It was an hour long and just me explaining exactly what this is, because a lot of people, I think, are going into this game not knowing what it is, not knowing that, and I'll give them credit, the game hides itself well. Underneath, it's a very good looking, it's a great game, like on the surface. But once you start digging a little deeper, you find you're going to start asking questions like, hey, why am I not unlocking any new characters? Why can't I level up past level 20? And that's where the gacha mechanics come in. You will not make any progress unless you engage with those gacha mechanics.
There we go. That's what I was waiting to hear.
It even gets worse, because if you just play the game, like say if you never touch that stuff and you're just playing the game, as you level up, once you level up past a certain point, it forces all the enemies to level up too. So
Mm.
there's some characters you will not be able to level up past 20. And then if you're like, you have like an overall level called your adventure level, and everything you do contributes to that level.
Mm.
Um, so, opening a treasure chest and clearing quests and stuff like that, everything contributes to that level. So that will level up regardless. So if you're just exploring, that's going to level up. All the enemies are going to level up. Like once you get adventure level 20, all the enemies level up. It's called world level. So the world level increases, everything levels up, and you're like, hey, I'm stuck at level 20, and they're fucking me right now by forcing all the enemies to level up. And that really sucks because there's like, hey, I don't have the materials to level up this character. Um, and I'm stuck at level 20. All these enemies are level 30, and I'm fucked. um, and that can be a problem. A lot of people think it's an MMO. This game is not an MMO,
Yeah,
even though
it
on
looks like it. It's
PC
got a hub world.
the world is very huge. I mean, it's structured like an MMO. Like this is the most MMO like game I've ever played that's not an MMO. Um, because it's just so structured like one that you would think it is. It does have multiplayer, but you're not going to be able to do multiplayer until you put like 18 to 20 hours in. Um, that's not an exaggeration.
Oh God.
uh, yeah. So like a lot of people are getting this thinking they'll play with their friends. Well, you both got to put the time in before you do that. So just know that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a fantastic, like, the level of quality in this game. I can't stress enough. Like it is utmost quality. It's the most quality I've ever seen from a free to play game. Like there's four different voice tracks. Like a lot of times these games they only give you like the native like Japanese track. Actually this game's Chinese.
Hmm.
But no, they have Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and English, and it's all fully voice acted. Um, and it's really good voice acting too. Like they didn't skimp anywhere in terms of the gameplay. Like they made a good game first, and then they added the bullshit on top of it. Um, but it's a good game. I think it's worth checking out as long as you understand the mechanics that are
Yeah,
here.
and
Um,
that's what I was worried about. Like seeing the game, seeing the trailers. I'm like, this game looks like a lot more fun than it has any right to be.
yeah, yeah.
Excuse me. And that seems to be the case. Like those gotcha mechanics, man. Like
It's not,
that's
and
like the
the
killer
gotcha
there.
mechanics aren't bad. It's just you just gotta know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing because they give you, like any game, they give you enough to like start out
Hmm.
to where you don't really need to, and all the materials you can get all the materials without buying them. But it does
Hmm.
this thing which I didn't notice until I did the quick look, where you can only get certain materials in certain places on certain days. So
What?
it tells you where and how you can get everything. So it'll be like, hey, this appears in this region, or this appears in this dungeon, but only on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And it's like, what? I didn't like crazy shit like that. But again, they tell you how to get everything. Like you can just get everything just from playing, but
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be grinding a lot. So um,
God, that sounds frustrating.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, like you said, as long as you know what you're getting into, like it doesn't sound like a bad experience. Like
yeah.
there's
It's
definitely some time there for a free game. You can get quite a bit of time in there.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's genius what they're doing, putting this on PS4 and PC because actually I saw a headline today that said that this is the highest. What was it? The highest grossing Chinese game ever, or something like that. That can't be true. It was something else like that, or the fastest grossing, something like that. Um, and you can see this game's gonna do numbers just because it's on It's on PS4 and PC,
Yeah.
and it disguises its shit very well. It's um,
You're not
there's
wrong.
people are going to be playing this, and it's going to be my first gotcha game for a lot of people because they just don't know.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there. I mean, if it has enough staying power to like keep people invested for the long game, or if it's just there for you to dump like your first like 15, 20 hours into it and then fuck off once you spend too much money. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Um, I'm kind of hoping it does well, man, just because like I want to see more Breath of the Wild style games on like other systems. I want to see other companies take on Breath of the Wild style like exploration system.
there's at least
I
four of
always
them. They're all coming out now. There's at least four of them
Yep.
coming out. Like, there's
Yeah, we
like
have
two in early access on Steam right now. There's this, and then there's the Ubisoft one.
yep, what's it? Phoenix Rising, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's cool to see that. I mean, I like seeing it. We talked about this in the podcast before. If people are gonna like steal from any game, I'd rather it be good games like Breath of the Wild.
yeah,
So we'll see what happens with that. Inside news, surprising, probably not surprising, what I've been playing. I played I know we talked about this last week. Disgaea 6 was coming out. Well, I checked
yeah,
the eShop. Not only is Disgaea 5 on sale for $20, there's also a demo. And I downloaded the demo. I tried it last night. I was like, okay, I'll play this a little bit before I go to bed, maybe like 30, 40 minutes, and I'll head to bed. I played that demo for like 3 hours.
yeah. Long
It's
demo.
really good. It's really, really good. Um, a lot of it was spent because the tactical mechanics are really. I'm not a huge fan of like tactic style RPGs. It's just not something that's really grabbed me. I've tried so many times to get into them. I haven't tried Final Fantasy Tactics yet. Everyone tells us that's the best one, so maybe I should try that before I say I don't like that genre. But I played it, and the game encourages replaying levels because whenever you finish a level, you can go back and replay it, and the loot you get from it regenerates, so you can get that same loot. You can grind for XP, but there's a bar that fills up depending on how well you do. So if you score things like combo attacks, if you finish it quickly, you can fill up this bar. And when you fill up that bar to a certain level, you can get a very special one-time bonus. And a lot of my time was spent trying to replay those levels, trying to get that bonus. I didn't even come close to it,
Yeah,
but I was addicted. I was. It felt like a puzzle. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
I
every
feel
level,
like
the layout's the same. It feels like a puzzle, so I wanted to like do it as efficiently as possible. And when I was playing it like a puzzle game and not like a tactical RPG, I was hooked. Like I'm probably gonna buy it today. And this is coming off the fact that I'm still playing Dragon Quest 11, which is gonna take up a lot of time. I'm still playing Borderlands 3, which is taking a lot of time. But I like this game enough that I want to squeeze that into the time I don't have.
were those levels like randomly generated? I remember in the original, like the first Disgaea game, there was, I think they had that same mechanic where you get bonuses based on, like, a bar would go up and you get more bonuses, but you could like dive into like randomly generated dungeons pretty much.
If there
And
is a randomly generated dungeon, I haven't gotten that far yet. I've only played. Let me give you an idea. A lot of my time was spent just replaying some of these levels, reworking my team, trying to get those higher scores. I'm the kind of person, if I like your game and there's like a scoring mechanic, I'll try my best to like get an S rank.
yeah,
I think that's why like games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry jive so hard with me because I want to get that high rank. But not just that, if you put a fucking bonus into it, like, oh, here's an exclusive item you can only get if you hit that max level or if you hit that max score, I'm a sucker. Like I'll fall for it.
yeah,
And I did. And this game hooked me hard, dude. Like even now I'm like thinking about it, trying to see like thinking back at a level I played yesterday, how I could try to beat that faster. And it has a lot of interesting systems. So like there's a team attack option that works that's really cool. If two players or if two characters are standing next to each other when you attack an enemy, they can perform a team attack. and depending on the character's relationship, they have a higher chance of performing that special. Both characters don't need to target the enemy. So, for example, let's say you have two units, one to the left, one to the right, and the one on the right attacks a unit in front of him. The one on the left attacks a unit in front of him. They have a chance to perform a team attack on each unit they're attacking because they're right next to each other.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
all have to
actually
target the
been
same person.
that's been in it from the start. That's always been there.
I thought it was cool as shit.
Yeah,
Because, and let's say like you don't want to, let's say you just want that person to be there for the team attack. You can literally move a character next to someone, have person B attack, get that team attack off, then have person A fuck off and do something else. They just need to be there. They don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost them a turn. I'm like, this is why did I sleep on this game for so long? It's so good. I'm probably gonna buy it after this show, and I'm probably gonna dump another couple hours into it, which sucks because again, I'm playing Dragon Quest XI, which is amazing,
yeah,
and Borderlands 3, which is way better than it has any right to be.
yeah. The Disgaea games are perfect for like, man, like I would say it's perfect for the Switch, but the way I want to play my Switch is like I want to throw it in my pocket and just whip it out when I'm, just pick up and play and then put it down.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's how
it's
I
way
played the
too big.
original Disgaea games. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
because Disgaea 5 was like a DS game, I think, before, right? Or am I making that up?
yeah. I think no, that was PS3, PS4, PS3, PS3. I think.
Point is, it's great. It's on sale still for the next, I think, for another couple days. I should probably buy it now so I don't lose out on that deal. But it's really good, dude. I was surprised how hooked I was in it, and I noticed it. I was playing, and I was like, God damn it, I'm addicted. I see the appeal now.
Yeah, they're good games. They're not, they're not extremely popular either. I mean, like there's a a small audience for it, but it's not the hugest game. So I'm surprised it's still going strong.
Yeah, man, it's good. I just checked the Switch eShop. It's on sale. The sale is good for the next 3 days, and also we have Disgaea 4 Complete and Disgaea 1 Complete are also on sale.
Nice.
I've been told by other fans Disgaea 5 is the best one to start with, so I'm gonna try that. I know there are probably some people in the chat like, no, you should start with Disgaea 4. Disgaea 5 is trash. Kill yourself, but
I mean,
whatever.
they're all the same. Let's be honest.
But it's good. And the Prinnies, those penguin dudes, I thought they were annoying as shit from the trailers. I think they're hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
I legit think these dudes are funny as hell. Like I'm addicted to it. The voice acting's really good. The character designs are like anime as fuck, but I don't care. Like it's still a fun game. Definitely check it out. $20 and just try the demo. I've dumped 3 hours into the demo and I'm still playing it. So I'm sure the game will tell me like, oh, you can only grind so much and make me stop once I've hit that end of the demo. But I'm downloading. I'm gonna try to download the game because it's good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. Check it out. Everyone should play it. Everyone should play Disgaea.
I also started Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I saw that. What did you think? Because I don't know. Have you played the original Final Fantasy VII? I don't know if we talked about that.
Yes, I've played it. I never finished it, but I played. I always stop at the same point with that game. It's like right at the end of the first disc, which is a decent amount. Like it's not a small amount, but yeah. So I'm fairly acquainted with that first disc.
Yeah.
And I am extremely impressed by this game and just how from so little how much they can just stretch out. I mean, characters who just had maybe 6 or 7 lines of dialogue in the original have complete backstories here, complete backstories, complete like quests of their own, and like just fully fleshed out characters. It's incredible.
Yeah, and a lot of people were complaining about it. So when the game came out, a lot of people were bitching, like, "Oh, it's only Midgar," but like, it's not like that 5-10 hour romp through Midgar in the original game. Like, this is like a 40-hour RPG.
Yeah,
with 40 hours worth of content that you'll be playing through. Like and it's not like they stretched it out. Like stretch it out is like a misnomer. They expanded on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like and
Um is incredible. Like I compare it to what they did with like Wolfenstein. Like
yeah,
BJ Blazkowicz was not much of a character in the original like Wolfenstein.
yeah,
He was just a bunch of pixels of a face in the bottom of the screen that just looked left and right like and what they turned that into with Wolfenstein is like incredible. They
yeah.
kind of did the same thing with this, where it's like I don't know how you got so much out of so little, but I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
Um,
and it looks good. Like I played the demo, and coming from like an action game background, I didn't. I like the combat in 7 more than 15. We'll leave it at that.
yeah, but I
Um,
will say, okay, so if we're talking about the combat, um, combat's not perfect. I do have issues with the combat, specifically
yeah,
the camera. Like the way you take damage in this is like, because if you're playing like an old school RPG, there's no, it's just you hit me, I hit you,
hmm
blank, blank, blank. Like it's not, but in this, like the camera, you got to fumble with the camera in this game, so you're taking damage that most of like a lot of time you just can't see. Like this
yeah. The
motherfucker's behind
cameras,
you, and
yeah,
you know you're asked to like dodge shit, and you just can't see. You're asked to block shit, and you can't see. There's AI that you have some amount of control over, but it's cumbersome. Like flipping to okay, like Barrett, you dumbass, fucking shoot these assholes that I can't reach, or you know like shit like that. And
yeah.
then yeah, that I was getting frustrated with. Uh, I'm not entirely sold on the combat because of that, but it's okay. I think they're still trying to figure out. It's weird because I feel like they're still trying to figure out how to do real time combat. It's not something they've ever gotten right. Like if I'm thinking back on it,
I think
uh,
what Square Enix's problem is they're trying to cater to modern gamers by having real time combat, but they still rely on like RPG shit, like menus and abilities you have to cycle through.
yeah, like
And
even
mhm.
Kingdom Hearts probably gets the closest to it because well, I don't know. Yeah, Kingdom
And
Hearts gets the closest.
even then, as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I went back replayed Kingdom Hearts 3. The combat's not the best.
Yeah,
Like it's gotten really floaty and kind of button mashy in the later games.
yeah,
And I feel like that's a Square Enix thing. Like they're trying to appeal to both by trying to hit a middle ground of like action RPG fans and old school RPG fans, which honestly they should just pick one or the other. Either make Devil May Cry or make Final Fantasy 12. Like don't try to give me this weird hybrid of the two.
yeah. And that's
And I
I
think
think that's the biggest thing. I think the biggest thing is the bad AI.
yeah,
Like if there's a ranged character in my party, he should be smart enough to shoot the shit that is not he should be smart enough to shoot the shit that's like far away. Like
I agree.
and he was not doing that, and I was getting pissed off. Um just range attacks. Again, range attacks piss me like Spider-Man was the same thing where they were like snipers who were using pistols, and I'm like, you should not have that good of an aim with a fucking pistol shooting me across this roof. Like I was getting pissed off in Spider-Man because of that. But anyway, um, yeah, I think the combat is just the biggest crush of this game. Like everything else is super solid, but the combat is where it kind of is lowered for me. But yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it. I enjoy it. So
It looks good. I really want to check it. I really want to play it. It's on my list. I know that's like my fucking catchphrase. It's on my list. I'll play it eventually. Um, but I really do want to play this one. It's just again, I'm playing so many games right now, dude.
yeah, I've
Um,
kind of dedicated myself to just play one game, finish it, and then move on.
yeah.
So Worked for me with Spider-Man. Finished that in 2 sittings. I bet I can. I bet I got like 2 or 3 more for Final Fantasy. Then I'm thinking of moving to Hades. That's on a lot of
Hades
people's
is
like
good.
game of the year list. So
Hades looks really good.
yeah,
If you do a quick look on that, I'll join you with it because I really want to check that out. That looks so good.
yeah. I'll probably do that.
Right on. Um, but yeah, dude, I've just been playing Dragon Quest XI. Still good. Still stand by my last review on it. It's excellent. If you like old school RPGs, you'll love Dragon Quest XI. Still playing Borderlands 3. That's still surprisingly, I'm still playing that one. But yeah, dude, there's some good games out there. I also started replaying Kingdom Hearts 3, which
Gross.
still kind of sucks. It's a huge bummer, man, because like here's why I'm playing it again, and I fully acknowledge I'm part of the problem here. The Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC went up on sale. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll pick it up and I'll replay Kingdom Hearts 3 because I want to know what happens because I'm a sucker for the story shit. I've been playing these games for like 20 years, man. I need to see how this ends. Um, so I'll fully admit I'm part of the problem here. And I've been replaying it. I've got a good like 3-4 hours into it. And I'm like, God, this still kind of sucks.
Man,
It's
I
a huge
just bought that
bummer.
collection. I'm gonna play through all those games again and then get back to finally catch up to 3. I still haven't played it. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I know what those games are. It's not like I have
yeah.
any misconceptions on. No, dude, you don't understand. It's like I know they're not great. I mean, they're good games. Like they're not bad games, but they're like the
But they're not
story.
bad games, but the story's dumb as shit. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Don't even get me started, dude. 3D. I'll argue that Dream Drop Distance. Things have been kind of fucky before that, but it was easy to follow. And then Dream Drop Distance was like, yo, you thought it was confusing enough? Well, here's time travel. And I was like, oh, fuck you. Like, I remember playing, I was so excited because let's rewind back to when the 3DS came out and Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3D got announced. I was excited because I was like, okay, cool. A game that actually takes place after Kingdom Hearts 2. And it was set to release like 10 years after the first Kingdom Hearts came out. So I was like, cool, this is gonna be a great game. It's gonna answer all these questions and it's gonna hype me up for when we finally get Kingdom Hearts 3. Nope. I remember when I got to the end of that game, I audibly let out, oh, what the fuck? When the twist occurred. That spoiler alert, time travel is a thing in the Kingdom Hearts universe, and it's dumb as shit. Um God, I hate that I like those games. I hate that I like them, and I hate that I give a shit like what happens in the story. Because God damn it, I've been playing these games for like the last 20 years. I need to see how it ends, and I hate myself for it.
I did play one more game last night. This was kind of just on a whim. Like people kind of suckered me into buying this game and trying it out. The new
Right.
hotness on Twitch right now is this game called Phasmophobia.
Oh, I heard about that one. Purple Nuggets was talking about it in the chat the other day. What is
Yeah,
that? I've never seen it.
it's a so the premise is really cool. The problem is the game's fucking early access and it's busted. But like you can
Oh,
see
Jesus.
there's gems here of where you can see where it's like, man, there's something special here if they can only just rein it in just a little bit. But
Yeah.
it's a ghost hunting game where you use your microphone to like kind of talk to the ghosts and it picks up on certain things you say and it'll react to that like
Ooh.
dynamically. So you go in with a team, you get a bunch of tools, like, and you get a list of objectives, like, hey, get a picture of the ghost, or have the ghost react to your crucifix, or have the ghost possess someone, or make the ghost throw something, or some shit like that. So it'll say, so you're supposed to talk into your microphone and just like say things like, "What's your name?" or like sometimes it goes has a name, and you saying its name will trigger it and get it to do things. Um, yeah, it's just a really cool premise. I was not convinced. It's $15 in early access right now,
Yeah,
and I was not convinced at first, but once it finally fucking starts working and actually you can get into a game and have it work, it's I was convinced like right then and there. I was like, dude,
like
this
it's
is
something
something
special.
special. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Um
that's dope. It sounds like a really cool idea. Like it's such a simple idea that I think could only work with modern technology and modern microphones.
yeah.
But I really like this concept. Like I want to check this out now. But again, early access, I guess something I try to stay away from. I've been
Yeah.
burned one too many times with early access, so I try to stay away
Tons
from
of
it.
issues. The game's like busted as fuck. Like not
Yeah,
gonna sugarcoat it. It's busted. So if you're like on the fence at all, maybe just hold off. It's also like $15, which I think is a little much for what's here right now, but it's definitely a unique experience.
yeah.
Especially like with a group of friends, it's really cool. So yeah,
I mean, if you have it, I wouldn't mind picking it up. We can like do a little stream with it.
yeah, yeah.
I love horror games, but I do not handle them well, so I will cry like a bitch.
It encourages you to sometimes it says like, hey, the ghost is not going to react if there's a group, so you have to go solo or like shit
Oh,
like that.
fuck
Like
that.
actually that's when it convinced me. I was like, because we weren't getting a reaction when we were all together, so I was like, all right guys, I'm just gonna leave the flashlights here, leave everything here, and go back to the truck because the truck has like cameras and monitors and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey guys, leave everything here. I'll stay here, and I'll try to maybe he'll respond if it's just me. And then everyone left, and that motherfucker responded. He fucking like they'll kill you if they're too triggered, they'll kill you. And yeah, that motherfucker killed the shit out of me. And like you get a radio, and I was like calling out on the radio, like guys, 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 something's happening, and they couldn't hear me. I guess like they
Oh,
can
what?
they can interfere with the radio, and like I had a camera set up, I had a video camera set up so they can monitor the video, and I guess that wasn't working either. Um, yeah, so that's what
Okay,
convinced
that's
me.
it's just everything between those moments is hard to get through.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I'm sold on it, dude. Yeah, let me know next time you play it. I'll pick it up and we can do a little stream with it.
yeah,
If you guys
yeah.
want to hear me cry like a bitch, we can do this.
Definitely, that
Again, I
will
love
happen.
this coming from someone who loves horror games, man. I
Yeah,
love me some survival horror games, but I do not handle them well at all.
yeah. So we played
I've
that
woken up my
last
wife
night.
before playing Resident Evil 2, so
Yeah, we played that last night on
on stream.
twitch.tv/ Purple Nugget Comics, friend of the show. So yeah, you can head over there to see the it's all archived there, even the fucking shitty ass setup we had to go through. We had to like if you have Discord open at all, it fucks it up. So like we all had to close Discord. Um which like you should do anyway because that game has its own in-game communication.
Yeah, and it
Um
sounds like the in-game communications, like it's directly impacted to the gameplay. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
want
yeah. So but yeah, it's interesting. I want to see how it develops.
right on. Well, I'll definitely check it out. It sounds cool as fuck. Anything else that you played you want to go over? Do you want to get to the news?
Nope, that was it, I think. Yeah.
Alrighty. So this is something I was really surprised to hear. I want to get your opinion on it. The Cyberpunk 2077 publishers ordered a 6-day work week leading up to its November launch, which is something that developers promised before that they would not force overtime on the project. Looks like they're going back on it now. Um, the CD Projekt Red team lead did announce that employees can continue to count on bonus payouts ahead of the game's release. Up to 10% of the company's annual profit will be given out to the employees during this crunch time, which I'm conflicted on because one, it does suck to be forced at overtime,
Yeah.
but to be compensated for it with a profit sharing option is really cool. Like this game's gonna do gangbusters, man. Like this is gonna shoot CD Projekt Red stock like through the roof. They are
Yeah.
going to just 10% profit with this game releasing is insane. Like that is going to be a huge bonus to these employees.
Yeah. Like you can already know, like that is not a gamble. Like you already
Yeah,
know it's going to be profitable.
yeah. And
Um,
to put aside 10% of those bonuses and give that to the employees, like I think that makes up for it, which I don't think EA offered any stock or any profit sharing options when they forced overtime. I might be wrong, but I don't think that was a thing people reported on.
yeah, it was something that definitely differs between publisher to publisher.
Yeah.
I know Epic does do that. I know we call it Gearbox, I think, does do that as well, but that's the thing, like their games are so questionable as to how much profit is going to be there that you just don't really know. Like if a game like, Battleborn comes out and you're like, yeah, let's get that profit share. Uh, you don't really know. But like
Exactly.
I'm of two minds because on one hand, they said they wouldn't crunch. They promised they wouldn't crunch, and they did, which sucks because that's more weeks that you don't, you see less of your family, and it's more, you know, it's just it's more hard work that you gotta shed some blood and tears and sweat. But then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, well, when they said that, it was a different, like from what I understand, it was like over a year ago when they said that. Going into what the world is in now this year, it's kind of things have changed.
Yeah.
Uh, no one
Yeah.
could have foreseen what was happening this year, so I could understand that things would change with this.
Exactly. Like I'm sure that their team lead had a roadmap worked up. He had a game plan ready, and then COVID just fucked it all up.
Yeah,
I'm almost positive that if COVID hadn't happened, this crunch wouldn't be happening. And
yeah.
kudos on them though for like trying to get it out on time because they did have to postpone it a while back. I remember it was supposed to come out.
They delayed
Oh
it twice, I
yeah,
think.
was supposed to come out in I think September, then it got pushed to October, and now it's November.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. I'm sure there's someone who's following this release a lot closer than I am, but it has been delayed quite a bit. And I'm happy to see it coming out. It sucks that these employees have to deal with the crunch, but it doesn't sound like it's as egregious and abusive as what we hear in the industry. And to get profit sharing options on that game specifically, like I think that's more than enough compensation
yeah,
for having to work these 6-day work weeks.
yeah, exactly. And I said with when we were doing the spoiler cast for The Last of Us Part Two, like that's another game that had intense amounts of crunch. Um, and like I said during that, like I'm sure the people who worked on that game, who slaved on that game, I'm sure they look back on their work and like, yeah, we did something real special here. Like it was a lot of hard work, but we they can look back at it and go, yeah, we that's this is special. What we did here is special. So
Yeah.
like I'm sure they're super proud of that work, and they should be because that it's incredible.
Yeah, you can hear our opinion on Last of Us 2 with our Last of Us spoiler cast we did back in oh god, when did we do that? Like July, I think.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah. So check that out. You know, if you want to hear three dudes talk about Last of Us 2 for like an hour and a half. Um, but yeah, I'm not too worried about this. I still think CD Projekt Red's going to release a great product, And I'm sure that even though it does suck to have to deal with that crunch, but from what we're seeing here, I'm sure the employees are being very well taken care of and compensated for their work.
Yeah. And that's the thing is you don't know. The only reason we know about this is because someone was upset enough to, leak this information. I don't know if it's the leak, but I guess it is. Like one of the workers was upset enough that they spread this information. So that's the only reason we know about it. So if someone was upset, like someone is upset, it's not like no one's upset at this.
Yeah, I
So
mean, it's fair to be upset. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them, because CD Projekt Red hired a ton of employees because of this game. Like, they plan to keep them on after the project's over. But I read articles that they got a grant from the Swedish government to expand their operations so they can release the game they want to release. And it helped increase the workforce in their company. So I'm sure a lot of people joined this team with the stipulation that there wouldn't be any crunch in the contract. You know, I'm sure they were told ahead of time, like, oh, we're not gonna force crunch on our employees.
yeah,
And to have that taken away from them, I can see why they'd be upset. And I feel for you. I do. It sucks. It sucks being told to work when you don't want to. As simple as that. You signed up for 40 hours a week. It sucks to work past that. Um, and it does suck to see that happening. But again, it's not as egregious as what other companies are doing. You know, they're not just saying take it or leave it. They're offering these great profit sharing options to compensate for it. Granted, that's not enough for everybody. A lot of people value their time a lot more than they value their money, and that's totally fine.
yeah.
But
And then
I feel like in a situation where a lot of people are going to be upset, I think CD Projekt Red is doing everything they can to minimize that.
yeah, and then a lot of people like respond to this saying, "Well, why don't you just delay the game again? Just delay it."
Yeah,
But a delay could be an excuse to have even more prolonged crunch. Like it's not just a cure all. Like it could just be an excuse to be like, well, instead of crunching for a couple of weeks, we're gonna crunch for a couple months now, or
yeah,
we're gonna crunch for another year, or shit like that. So it could go both ways. It's not a cure all.
yeah. And a lot of this is biased because I do like CD Projekt Red a lot, but I feel like they're going to release a quality product, and it sucks to have to do this. Again, it sucks to have to do this crunch, but I feel like they really do have the best interest of their employees and the project at heart.
Yeah,
That's how I feel. Again, there's a lot of bias here because I like CD Projekt Red. If I had heard EA was doing this, I'd be like, fuck them. But
yeah. Well, the,
CD
the only
Projekt,
reason people were even bringing this up is because they said they wouldn't do it.
yeah,
Um, like crunch is the norm in the industry,
yeah,
and they were trying to go against that. So
yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the game launches in November. This is a game we all have been excited for. Like every guest we've had has been excited for it. You and I personally been really excited for it.
I'm,
See what
I'm,
happens.
you know, I'm, um, you know,
Oh,
I
shut the
want to, I
fuck
want to
up!
go so
You're
far as to say
excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it in the sense that like everyone, I've learned to quell my expectations. All right, like look, I played The Witcher 3. Not a huge fan of The Witcher 3, but I know it's a fantastic game. It's just not what I'm looking for out of an RPG. Um, this is more up my alley, but
Yeah.
again, it's I've learned to quell my expectations. I mean,
Well,
it's no
those of
it's
you
no
who aren't
Beyond Good and Evil two.
to those of you who aren't as jaded as Wasabi is, it's okay to be excited. Um, we'll have to wait and see, man. The game comes out in November. We'll definitely be talking about it. This is definitely a game I'm gonna be picking up day one. So we'll
Yeah,
have to wait and see what happens. In other news, this is something I wanted to go over. Uh, Masahiro Sakurai announced that Steve from Minecraft and Alex from Minecraft will be joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They did a live stream on Thursday where the characters were revealed. And the character of Steve will have alternative skins. You have Alex from Minecraft, as well as a zombie and the Enderman. Steve and Alex each have 2 more alternate costumes. So 6 alternate costumes altogether between Steve and Alex. And with the zombie and Enderman, that's 8 alternative costumes for the Minecraft character. They also had a special stream today where they went over the character in detail. And
Yeah.
by detail, I mean it was like a 48-minute like stream.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do that with all of. I didn't see
Yeah.
that. Do you have a link for that one? Because when
I can get it for you. Give me a minute.
I went to the
And
thing, it wasn't there.
holy shit. That is from watching the gameplay video that they announced when they were where they're talking about it. I was like, this is gonna be a complicated character.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Oh, you found it? Cool. Because I just pulled it up. And I was right. Holy shit. This is insane. I'm going to start with the basics. Mining. You can mine material, and you can mine any stage in the game. And depending on where you're mining from, can alter the material drops you get from it. Those material drops are directly used for your special moves and even your basic attacks. Your basic attack is a sword swing. And you start out with the lowest possible material, wooden sword. And that sword can break, which leaves you not defenseless, but, you know, your bare hands aren't as strong as a sword. So you do have to, like, craft a new sword if that breaks. And depending on the material you find will determine the value of that sword, how long it lasts, how much damage it does. It's, Jesus, man. It is so complicated. There's so much.
It's
To
crazy
this
how much
character.
attention they give to every character in the game. Even Cloud has like his limit break and
Mhm.
shit like that. Little Mac is like on the screen now. He has his star punch and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like they give so much attention to detail to the characters. It's incredible.
That's true. And with this character in particular, I'm not going to go over every single move they have, but I want to go over some things that surprised me. You can see it later in the video. Here we go. About 20, where is it? About 20 minutes into the video, you can see a bar over the character's head. That determines the materials you have. And all your moves cost material. So, for example, if you jump and do your neutral special, you lay down a block underneath you, and you can walk around and make like a bridge with that block, like you can in the actual Minecraft game. But it costs those materials to do it. So not only are you keeping track of like the materials you're using, but God forbid if you use up all the lower end materials and you start getting up to the higher end stuff like iron or gold, that stuff you could have been using for weapons, you're now using for a bridge. You have to keep that in mind. On top of it, you can mine things like redstone to power up your side special, your Minecraft cart. And oh god, it's so complicated. There's so much to this character. They even introduced something I've never seen in characters before. So, like in Smash Brothers, you have your special button, which the special changes depending on the input you're doing. If it's neutral, down, side, or up. Well, the Minecraft character has a new one I call a shield special, where if you're holding your shield and you hit the special button, you can spawn your crafting table in front of you. Like they added a new move basically to this character because I don't think any other character has a shield special.
Yeah.
Like to my
Damn.
knowledge, I mean, there's like 86 characters, so I'm sure there's someone who's like, well, actually, this character, I don't care. Point is that one thing I liked about these new DLC characters is that all of them are very different. But this Minecraft Steve is even more so. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
how different this person is. This is not a normal Smash Brothers character. Like the way they operate, the way they attack, it's so different. Just having to keep in mind on the materials alone is so interesting that they're able to include that in Smash Brothers. Like this is impressive to be able to do that in this game. You can even power up, again, you can power up your minecart if you have gold and redstone to make your minecart faster, just like you can in the actual game. The minecart works like it does in Minecraft, so you can't go up hills with it without getting enough speed to do it. Like it's really impressive how they did this, how they incorporated all these moves into the game. Um, Honestly, like Masahiro Sakurai and his team should give themselves a pat on the back because this is crazy. I don't
Yeah.
want to go over too much because like this video is like 45 minutes long for a reason. There's so much nuance to this character. And to those of you who are like, oh, it's not tournament viable if like there's a random element to the items the materials you can get. I'll stop you right there. If you play the stages in their Battlefield or Omega mode, which is a tournament viable mode, materials aren't random. It's a set list of materials you can get regardless of where you mine from. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so you can ignore that. That's one of the first things he went to keep tournament viability, competitive viability, to take some of the randomness out of the character. But my God, man, there's so much to it.
They're really turning this game into like Mugen. Like
Right?
this is
It's
like the real
insane.
salty bet.
Right, dude, it's insane. I was watching this and I was like, holy shit. And he was showing off some of the cool things you can do with it. I don't want to go over all the abilities, but there's an ability where you can lay down like a block of TNT. And if you have the redstone, you can make a detonator as far away from it as you want. So you can lay down a detonator with a pressure plate that you can step on and set off the TNT if you want to do it from afar. Or if you don't have redstone, you want something else, you can actually just put the detonator right next to it. So if an enemy steps over it, it goes off. Like
do
there's
they
so much thought into
do
this.
they
It's
have
crazy.
like a just like a real time just combat demonstration of the character? Because I want to see what it's like when someone good with the character can just whip it out and just do some crazy
So
combos.
later in the show, he does do a demonstration. I want to say about 30 minutes in. Yeah, he shows off the new spirit board stuff. So if you go to 31 minutes 30 seconds, he does a spirit board against some zombies, and you can actually see him just play the character. He's still talking quite a bit during that presentation, showing off the biome. Here's another thing that's crazy: the Minecraft world that they added to the Minecraft map they added to the game has randomly generated biomes based on the desert, the savanna, the plains, and the village, with parts you can actually break down and mine from. And they each have a day-night cycle too. It's crazy, dude. Like the fucking work into this game. Like
It's
it's
about to be
insane.
Game of the Year 2020 again.
Like I can't believe all the work that went into this character. Like I when I saw the announcement, I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. But to see it, to see him explain it, I'm like, oh my God, this is probably the most technically interesting character
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
want
so
to see.
far.
I want to see what like a hungry box can do with this, or like a pro player. Because even in this like gameplay demo, they're not they're not very good.
He
um,
showed some stuff off earlier, like when he was showing off the block mechanic where you can like build blocks underneath you and run around it. He showed you can actually like he did this thing where he showed like how you could use it in practice. Like someone, if you throw someone off the edge and trying to get back, you can build a
well,
wall,
yeah, but
just bounce off
I'm
of.
saying like it's one thing to just show it off, but it's another thing to like
See someone
chain
using it.
everything together seamlessly into like just a pro level, like
Yeah,
a combo compilation of like,
yeah. And we'll probably get to see that. The character comes out October 14th, so it'll be up for download then. I definitely want to see some combo videos with this. I can't wait to fuck around with them. Smash is the game that I don't really stop playing. I just kind of take breaks from it, and I come back every couple months when a new character comes out, or my brother comes over. We'll play some Smash. This is holy shit, and not just that. They did announce. So one thing I think is cool. They announced it earlier in the video. I don't know if you can go back to it because I don't know where it is, but when Kirby swallows Steve, he turns into a square. He turns into a block. So that's cool. I was wondering what that was going to do.
oh,
Um, so yeah, that's cool to see. And they also showed off some costume packs were coming out too. There are some there are some Minecraft related character packs coming out. We have a pig monster and creeper skin for the Mii fighters, as well as a diamond armor skin for the Mii swordsman as well. And there were some other characters that got announced too. Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes has a costume now.
Nice.
Bomberman has a costume too.
Nice.
And some other character who I've never heard of before, Gil from Tower of Druaga, which is I looked it up, it's an old Bandai Namco game.
Yeah.
If you go, where is it? If you go about 40 minutes, 16 seconds in, you can see the list of all the character costumes, which looks cool. Like, it's cool to see that each character costume is like 75 cents each. Honestly, I would love to see Travis Touchdown in Smash Brothers, but it's probably never going to happen.
It'll happen.
They also announced that the Dragon Quest Hero and Joker amiibos are coming out or should be available now. So that's something if you're a big amiibo collector. I'm probably going to pick up the Joker one because I like Joker. I like Joker from Persona 5. But yeah, dude, it was a huge packed announcement. They also announced a prototype of the Banjo-Kazooie amiibo, which looks really cool. It's about 41 minutes, 22 seconds in. Honestly, like, even if you don't care about amiibos, the figure's cool enough that I would still buy it because it's such a cool little figure. You'll see it right now in a little bit.
I mean, like, we've gone past the point of like, hey, use your amiibos in your favorite games. Like, now they're just decorations at this point, right? They're
Yeah.
just
You can still use them in a lot of games, but like, look how cool that Banjo-Kazooie amiibo is. Like, I
I'm
would
sure you
buy
can
that.
use them, but the amount of people using them, like actually using them, is probably like, say maybe 2%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a gimmick. It's not really being used that too much. All in all, man, like, I think it's cool. Like, it's cool to see Steve from Minecraft. They also announced the Byleth figure would be coming out too. Terry Bogart figures coming out too. It's really cool to see it, man. Like, I like seeing all this stuff happen. If you bought the Challenger pack, again, Steve and Alex will be available October 14th. And again, there's 4 more characters in the second fighter pass that haven't been announced yet. So if Min Min and Steve and Alex were their starters, fuck, dude, I can't wait to see what else they got in the woodwork here, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, Min Min and Steve and Alex are both so unique compared to some of the other characters that we've gotten that this is what they're starting with. Like, oh man, we're gonna see some shit later.
And
Well,
I've been out of the Smash Brothers loop. I didn't even know that they were still doing characters.
so they announced the second character pass. The first character pass finished up with 5 characters. It was Joker, Dragon Quest Hero, Banjo-Kazooie, Terry from Fatal Fury, and Byleth from the new Fire Emblem Three Houses. And they announced a second character pass. That's $30, but that has 6 characters in it. So we already took care of the first 2, Min Min from ARMS and Steve and Alex from Minecraft. And again, we got 4 characters left, man. And I know I keep repeating myself, but this is what they're starting with for this new character pass. Oh man, I can't wait to see what else they do. And honestly, I kind of want Sakurai to go back and like retweak some of these characters that already exist, because Smash characters are pretty traditional, but all these DLC characters have so many like unique gimmicks to them. I want to see them go back and do that with existing characters. It'll probably never happen. That's way too much work, but I would like to see that.
I mean, they could literally add anyone at this point, right? Like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I know the subreddit R Halo is excited because they're like, oh, if we can get Minecraft, a Microsoft property, to Smash Brothers, why can't we get Halo?
I want them to add York from Deadly Premonition.
That'd be cool. I mean, Goku from Dragon Ball. I know that's a big For some
No,
reason.
but they would have to do like 37 Goku. So
Yeah. Um, dude, now that I know like anyone can show up in it, like, ugh, I have zero guesses on who's gonna be the next character. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what else happens. Check out the video. Wasabi's gonna post the. I think he posted a link to it already. It's like a
yeah,
45-minute video. It goes off not just for what Steve and Alex can do, but also what other characters will be getting. Some other downloadable content we'll be getting. So it's cool to check out to see what the future of Smash Brothers is gonna hold. All in all, I'm excited. I'm gonna download the character for sure October 14th and probably spend a good chunk of my time in training mode just fucking around with it to see what I can do. See what kind of shenanigans I can cook up.
tough. Well, yeah, there's your Smash Brothers hour.
There's a lot to go over, man.
I don't know how they balance a game like that, man. Especially when you have 1,000 different characters and items and shit like that. Like at some point, it's got to just be you got to throw balance out the window and just say, yeah, we'll just add a bunch of this stuff to this character and fuck it. But they don't seem to be doing that. They seem to be actually trying to balance everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying really hard to balance the characters out, which is amazing because there's like 80 something characters in the game now.
yeah,
Like it legit looks like a Mugen game. Like there's so many characters. Um it is cool to see. I keep repeating myself, but it is cool to see that they're trying to make this somewhat balanced, which is funny because when Smash 4 came out for Wii U, the DLC characters are broken as shit. Bayonetta was like hated in the Smash community when she came out because she was so broken. And it's cool to see them try to get around that and actually make a competitive, somewhat competitive game.
yeah. Even
Um,
even like regular ass fighting game. I remember when they added Batgirl to Injustice. She was fucking, or at least I felt like she was fucking busted, dude. I felt like she was like the best character in the game, single handedly.
yeah, and you're not the only one that thought that. I think she was top tier in the competitive scene for a while too. I don't know if they nerfed her or not. I'm not sure. I don't follow the Injustice scene like at all. But yeah, that's your Smash Brothers hour, man. Let's move on to Marvel Spider-Man. We got some new details on the remaster. The Spider-Man Remastered game will be featured with the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition for $70. The
Um,
game's gonna have. Oh,
that's
sorry.
the only way to get that game, by the way, is
Yes,
if you
that is the only.
buy, which sucks. I feel
Yeah,
like they're trying to hide that fact as much as they can, but yeah, that's the only way to get Spider-Man Remastered. Which look, if I'm being honest here, you should not be. Oh, whatever. People are gonna do whatever they want, but I'm not buying a PS5 to play a PS4 game on. I mean, I personally just finished. I just played through Spider-Man, so I'm
yeah,
not like I'm not buying like I'm not trying to get right back into the remaster like as soon as
yeah,
possible.
and that's totally fair, especially since like it's not you. God, you can play the PS4 game on PS5. The
Yeah.
remaster has some improved details, improved character models, improved material models, ray trace reflections, ambient shadows, new sky and weather systems. So it's definitely been enhanced for PS5. But I mean, if you already played the game,
It's
it's
the same
kind of
game. It just
yeah, it's
looks better
yeah, it looks a lot better.
and runs better.
But I think if you've already played Spider-Man on PS4, it's not worth buying it again for PS5 from what I've
Yeah.
seen so far. They did add some new stuff. There's an optional performance mode that targets 60 FPS.
We
So
talk
the
about that
game,
real quick.
yeah,
We talk about that real quick because if I'm buying, well, first of all, there shouldn't be an option. right? It
Yeah, I
should just
agree.
be fucking give me 60 FPS or don't like just scale back the graphics or whatever. Or give me 60 FPS shouldn't be the option. 60 FPS should be the standard and
I agree.
the option should be graphics mode, not performance mode. That's what I'm trying to say. Uh I'm kind of upset that we have to even choose between the two. Like you should find your balance between performance and graphics and make that and just give us that. Not this like look how good it looks, but look how shitty it runs type
Yeah,
shit. Like the performance shouldn't be the option. The performance should be the standard and the option should be ray tracing and all this other shit that no one cares about. But okay, that's all I have to say.
I agree, man. At the end of the day, we're playing games. So performance should be priority over graphical fidelity, but whatever.
Yeah.
And another upgrade to the game, though, it does have, because of the SSD drive on the PS5, it does have near instant loading times. So that's fantastic. I mean, Spider-Man didn't have awful loading times when it came out, but the
Yeah.
fact that it's almost instantaneous now, that's definitely a good boost. It also works with spatial 3D audio compatible headphones, and it has the haptic feedback available for the adaptive triggers in the PS5 controller, which they went over with in some detail, but I'm still interested to see how that works once that comes out.
I think that's gonna
Um,
be super gimmicky and no one's
yeah,
gonna use it.
yeah,
Just
like the
like the
touchpad.
just like the shiver trigger on Xbox One, which you'd forget existed unless someone brought it up, which I just did.
What trigger on Xbox One?
That's not what it was called, but I don't remember what it was called. The impulse trigger. Uh, Xbox One has the triggers vibrate.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
The only game I know that uses it is Forza.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I feel like this is going to be on the dual sense. It's like, yeah, it can do this, but why the fuck would you? I'm just not convinced as to the gameplay impact it would have. They say, when you pull back a bow, you can feel the tension in the bow. I'm like, okay, if I'm pulling back a bow, I'm not feeling the tension like in my fingertips. Well, I mean, I guess you kind of are, but you're feeling it in your shoulders and shit.
Yeah.
Um, you're not going to convey that experience.
It
In a,
seems like a cheap gimmick to justify cost, like a higher cost, if I'm being
yeah,
honest. Um,
yeah,
now the big piece of news. This has got the whole internet flipped upside down.
yeah. This is insane.
Yeah, they have recast the face model for Peter Parker on the PS5 version of the game, which I'm kind of bummed out about too, man. I liked the original facial model. The newer one has a bit of a baby face to it, and he looks more like Tom Holland Spider-Man, which kind of bums me out because one thing I liked about the original facial model, and I mentioned this in the Discord chat, is that the original facial model looked more like a kind of amalgamation of all the different Peter Parker interpretations we've gotten.
Yeah,
And you can kind of let your imagination lean one way or the other how you want to interpret it. But with this new one, it seems like they're trying to get more of that baby face look that we have with Tom Holland, which is fine if you like that Spider-Man, but this game doesn't have anything to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I don't think drawing comparisons to it shouldn't be a thing. And so something as simple as changing the facial model to look more like him, kind of, it does that, and that I think takes away some of the charm from the game. At least that's my opinion. Maybe I'm a nerd who reads too much into it, but that's my opinion.
yeah. I don't think I would have even noticed if no one said anything. I just played through this game. I would not have noticed if no
And
one said
that's
anything.
okay. A lot of people won't because I mean, to be honest, you're wearing a mask through most of the fucking game anyway.
Yeah.
But as a Spider-Man fanatic, someone who likes Peter Parker as much as he likes Spider-Man, I'm a little frustrated to see that happening, but I'm not gonna like cancel the game or like burn down Sony for this change, you know? It's a little blemish, but it's not the end of the world, man. I think people are overreacting a little bit to it. I can see the frustration, but at the end of the day, it's still a video game. It's still a fun game, and it doesn't affect the rest of the gameplay at all, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. So um they said what they say? They said we love working with John Bubniak on the original game. However, to get a better match to Peter Parker slash Spider-Man actor Yuri Lorenthal's facial capture, we have cast Ben Jordan to be the face model for Peter Parker on the PS5 console. Um, my question is, why don't you just use Yuri Lorenthal's face model and face capture?
Because Yuri Lowenthal's a little too old to play Spider-Man.
Yeah,
At
but you
least
could
in,
like use them as a base and then kind of just CG him up a bit, or use someone else's face capture. Like use the same face capture and performance. Well, I mean, kind of too late to redo the performance, but the capture at least, I don't know, you could use his face capture and then just remodel based on that.
I hear what you mean. Just use the actor's face and base it off of that.
Yeah.
Um, I agree and disagree because sometimes like the face doesn't quite match the character you want to get. Like a perfect example, Resident Evil 2, the Resident Evil 2 remake. They had a different model for the character and a different voice actor for the character of Leon. And if you tried to use that voice actor who played Leon in Resident Evil 2, it wouldn't look as good. And I hear what you mean, just model around it, but I feel like that's more work than what people want to put into it. Like it's easier to scan it in than it is to edit around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. So
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not in the industry, but I think that's the consensus that it's easier to scan it in than it is to even modeling around it is harder than just finding someone and then scanning it in.
if they knew that was an issue, they should have fixed it in the original, I would think. But
Yeah, I don't know why it's an issue now when it wasn't an issue when the game came out, but whatever.
yeah.
Like it's a conspiracy theory that they want a face that's closer to Tom Holland. That's my theory, at least. Um, in other PlayStation news, PlayStation Plus games for October were announced, and they are set to drop October 6th. We have Need for Speed Payback, which I've heard is pretty good. I mean, Need for Speed has always been a really popular racing game franchise. I've not much of a racing game fan, so I'm probably gonna skip out on it. But if you're a racing game fan, and for some reason you haven't played Need for Speed Payback yet, there it is, man. It's free on PlayStation Plus. We also have Vampire, which is a game I've wanted to play for a while. It's from the same devs that made, oh god, they made Life is Strange, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, that's him. Don't nod.
Yeah, don't nod. It is not like Life is Strange though.
Yeah.
Vampire is a action RPG where you play as a vampire during the, I believe, Spanish flu outbreak. The game, well, the big gimmick behind the game is that it has a lot of story elements surrounding how you play. If you want to engage, like you want to go full vampire and eat everybody, or if you want to be more of like a person who's stuck with this curse, try to live with it as best as you can. It looks really interesting. I like the idea that if you want to go full hog wild and be this evil vampire monster, you can do it. Or if you want to be a little bit more restrained and help people, you can do that too. And it's free, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. At least, I mean, it's not gonna cost me anything but my time, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that game kind of came and went I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, it was getting quite a bit of hype when it was coming out, but then it did come out and nobody talked about it, which is a shame because I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. Well, they were riding on like they were riding on the coattails of Life is Strange.
Yeah,
Not that that's a
which
bad thing, but
yeah, I mean, Life is Strange got a lot of positive reviews, but this is not like Life is Strange. So don't go into that expecting that Telltale style point and click
yeah,
adventure. That's not what this is at
it's
all.
just, it's a curse with Don't Nod or any developer that makes a critically acclaimed game, and that's like their one game to know them by.
Yeah.
Every time you mention them, you have to. I mean, they even did it here. Life is Strange developer Don't Nod. Like they have to prefix it with that game, and
Yeah,
that's the
even if the game
ultimate
has
curse.
nothing to do with it, like they
Yeah,
still need to bring that up, and it's shitty. It's shitty that they have to deal with that.
yeah,
And hopefully, like this game, I feel like this game was like their way of trying to like break out of that hold, which unfortunately doesn't look like it did it.
yeah. Tell Me Why is pretty good though on Game Pass. Check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You talked the game quite a bit. It's definitely on my list. Moving on to Xbox games with gold, we have Slayaway Camp Butcher's Cut is available between October 1st, October 31st for Xbox One.
That's a
I've
cool
actually,
it's a cool
yeah,
puzzle game where you're like kind of like Friday the 13th where well nothing like Friday the 13th but it's like a puzzle game where like you've got a certain number of moves and you've got to kill all the campers and then
yeah,
make it to the exit. Um, Pretty cool.
yeah. I've heard good things about that one. It's been. I'm not gonna say it's been on my list because I'd be lying if I said that. But it looked interesting. It's definitely a game I wanted to try. And if you have an Xbox One, I mean, there you go, man. We also have a game I've never heard of
So
until
I
now.
Made of Skur is actually
Yeah.
brand fucking new. Not brand new, but like it came out last month or the month
Wow.
before that, and I bought it on Steam. At least I think it's new. I'm pretty sure it's like brand new.
Came out July 28th, 2020 on Steam.
Okay, so yeah, it's fairly new.
Yeah.
And yeah, I bought it on Steam and didn't get a chance to play it yet.
Well, I mean, now it's free on Xbox. So, well, you don't have an
Yeah.
Xbox, do you?
No.
All right. So, yeah. So you can play it on Steam then. Um, Made of Skur is a first person survival horror game set in a macabre British folklore style hotel, which looks interesting. It's got a lot of reviews, mostly from like horror websites, and it's on sale right now for $25. No, that's not on sale. That's the regular price for it.
Yeah.
But for $26, you can get Made of Skur and Don't Knock Twice, that company's other first person horror VR game. So if you want to check that out
Okay.
on Steam. We also got Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, which I'm surprised to see that.
I've
I mean,
never even
Sphinx.
heard of this.
You've never heard of Sphinx? Oh man. So Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is a 3D platformer that came out on the original Xbox back in the early 2000s. Came out on Xbox, PS2, and GameCube, I believe. It got some good reviews when it came out, but it had nothing to do after that. The game came and went, which sucks because it sets up for a sequel that we're probably never going to see. I've heard good things about it. It got a re-release, I want to say about a year ago, year and a half ago for modern gen systems, or like an HD remaster for modern gen systems. And it looks like that's the version we're getting on Xbox One and Xbox 360. That's available between October 1st and October 15th. We also have Tim Schafer's Costume Quest.
Great game.
Yeah,
Great
great
game.
game. Don't have anything bad to say about it. It's a fun puzzle game that came out. Oh God, that game's been out forever. It's been re-released on so many different consoles.
It's an
And I don't even
RPG.
think. Yeah,
It's like
I
a
thought it's like a
Mario
puzzle RPG,
RPG
isn't it?
style. No, it's just an RPG. It's like Super Mario RPG or the Mario Luigi games,
Oh,
where
I'm probably thinking of another game then.
it's all timing based. So like when you do an attack, when you hit a button at a certain time, or like every attack has like its own mini game. So
Oh, that's what it is. I thought it was something else.
yeah,
I thought it
and
was like a puzzle game or something.
it's like a Halloween game. So you're going trick or treating, and everyone's like costume is their monster that you have to fight.
I'm watching a gameplay on it. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Shit, I never like actually looked into this game. That's super neat.
Wow, dude.
Well, I pick it up now. Yeah, like it looks really fun. It looks really charming. I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
That's free from October 16th to the 31st. That's it for games with gold, man. Um, in some quickies, World of Warcraft's new expansion, Shadowlands, has been delayed. Which, I mean, I'm not a World of Warcraft fan. I don't think you're a World of Warcraft fan either.
Nope.
Right now, there's no definitive release date for it other than it's coming out later this year, according to an update by Blizzard on the World of Warcraft forums. So that sucks, man. If you were power leveling to get ready for this new expansion, sorry that you have to wait for until later this year to play it. Although in other news, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members get access to EA Play on November 10th.
Yeah. So this is something they announced it
Yeah,
like a couple weeks ago, but they didn't give a date, I don't
yeah.
think. So yeah, that's soon.
So there you go. If you're paying for Game Pass Ultimate, which I believe is Game Pass Ultimate is compatible with Xbox One and PC.
Yeah.
And I think there's a gold subscription in there too, right? Or am I making that up?
Yep, you get gold as well.
Okay, so it's like an all-in-one bundle
And you get
price.
X Cloud.
Yeah. But what's cool is that you get EA Game Pass with it too. So that's cool. You can play EA games on it. And with xCloud, you can play that whole library on Android devices using the cloud. So, it's not a bad deal, dude. I think Xbox is doing some great things with their subscription services. It's cool to see them making moves in that. And only time will tell what we get more with, but I'm excited to see this happening. In other news, IGN got a hands-on with the Series X Xbox. The
Yeah.
Xbox Series X. God, I hate these fucking names. Um, I mean, can we take a second to talk about how dumb these fucking names are, dude? You have the Xbox One,
Well,
the
you know
Xbox
why they
One
did
X,
that?
the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X.
They did that because that's what iPhone does. iPhone X and iPhone S is like the weaker iPhone.
I get that, but Apple's your competitor, Microsoft. Do something different.
Yeah. Well, it's just
Like,
I think it's a naming scheme that people know when it comes to like the iPhones. So they're like, well, we can do the same thing with the Xbox. The X and
yeah,
the S. But
yeah, but don't let your competitor. Well, first off, don't let your competitor dictate your market decisions. Second, if you're gonna choose a competitor, how about you choose your competitor in the fucking
everyone
console space?
everyone copies. No matter what, how dumb the shit that Apple does is, everyone copies it. No matter fucking what, it's
Yeah,
the dumbest thing. Like the
I'm.
whole like hole punch camera thing is
Yeah.
stupid, stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. But they copy it anyway. Um, yeah.
Um, back to back to Microsoft news. I love these tangents we go on sometimes, though. I really do.
Yeah.
Um, they did announce. IGN did show that they showed off that it is a more powerful console. It handles older games still. They announced their quick resume feature, which
Which
puts the game to sleep, right? And then you can just boot it back up. It picks up right where you left off.
so here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
That not many people. It's not just IGN, by the way, that has this. Everyone got their Xboxes in, and everyone
Okay.
did a thing about it. IGN was like the first one that came up. So, and they all talk about the same thing. So the quick resume is one of the coolest things I've seen any of these consoles do that no one's talking about
All right, let's hear it.
because
It sounds like it's quicker zoom sounds like a sleep mode, but I feel like it's more than that.
it's more than that. Well, imagine sleep mode. You know, you just put your games to sleep and then you come
Yeah,
back and play it later, right?
yeah.
Imagine if you can do that with like 5 to 6 games at the same time.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So you can be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and someone can be like, hey, let's play some Destiny. Pause that, load up Destiny, and someone else is like, yo, dude, try to beat my score in Tony Hawk. So you go, okay, let me pause that, load up Tony Hawk, and all of those can be suspended all at the same time, and you can jump back in right where you left off.
That is cool as hell. Okay, I
Um,
like that. Quick question. I don't know if you know this. Does this only work with digital copies of the games? I doubt you could be swapping out discs and that still works.
yeah, I'm not sure if they said disc. Um, Yeah, well, I don't think many people tested. So here, there were limitations on what they could test.
Yeah.
So like, no one has any native Xbox One X games,
Hmm.
or I mean, Series X game. Fuck, no one has any native Series games. So they were only testing like backwards compatible or like enhanced stuff. Um, but they said like all the ones they tried, pretty much work, except like Forza. I think Forza didn't work when they said. But you know, it's still early, so they're still like working stuff out. But yeah, I don't think it'll work with a disc. I mean, discs already don't work. But yeah, I would have to find out in here. I mean, there's a whole write up, and there's like 20 different sites that did their write ups.
Yeah.
So,
And they
but
compared loading times too, which was one thing I love to see. Loading times for all the games they test seem to be cut like in half, if not more,
yeah,
which is awesome. That's so cool to see. I
and well,
like that it's backwards compatible. I can
a
play
lot
my
of the
older
games
games.
a lot of the games they tested for the loading times weren't
Mhm.
even like they did nothing to the game other than it's just running on that SSD. So they're not even enhanced for it yet. Once they even make the enhancements, it'd be even better.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
God, that's so cool. I love seeing that. Especially since last gen we kind of like said fuck off to backwards compatibility. So it's really cool to see that these new consoles are embracing it
Yeah.
and not just allowing you to play your old games but enhance it too.
I was talking to someone else about the backwards compatibility specifically with Sony, and it's weird that they're not pioneering this as much as they did back in the days,
Yeah.
because they're like the first ones to come out and say, "Hey, your PS2 can play all your PS1 games. Hey, your PS3 can play all your PS1 and PS2 games." And then after that, they just said, "Fuck it." Um,
Exactly. Especially, and I've mentioned this before. Sony owns all of those formats. They own Blu-ray disc for PS4. They own a CD DVD for PS1 and 2. I'm sorry, PS3 used Blu-ray too. So theoretically, they could make a system that's all the way backwards compatible, all the way back to 3, 2, and 1. They wouldn't have to really pay anyone else for any licensing because they own all those formats. If I'm wrong, someone correct me, but theoretically, it's not that hard for them to do it, other than you know
well,
manufacturing.
like they can make it read the discs. That's why when they say if you buy the disc on PS4, pop it into your PS5 for the discount, like it can read the discs. It
Yeah.
actually know if you pop in like a PS2 disc, or maybe not a PS2. If you pop in a PS3 disc into your PS4, it'll tell you like, "Hey, this is a PS3 game. This is not going to work." Um, it can read the disc. The problem is like making the game actually work on that hardware is a little more complicated.
Yeah. It's I don't see what's complicated about it. I don't work in that industry though, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, they're different like architectures. I mean, you know, when people talk about like the power of the cell processor, that's what that was. Uh, it was just a completely different architecture, like PowerPC and x86 and all this shit. It's all different instruction sets that you gotta like. convert to. I mean, you know, last week we were talking about like porting those Quantic Dream games to PC and how difficult those were.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. So maybe there is more to it that I don't know about.
yeah.
Um, I mean, that's something to look forward to, man. That hands-on definitely showed off a lot of stuff. I can't wait till the size consoles come out and we get consumers hands on them to see what all the fuss is about. Um, we also have a new expansion for Binding of Isaac, which I did not see that coming. I thought they were kind of done with that game, if I'm being honest.
Um, yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, he's been working on like other games, but
Yeah.
I don't think any one of them are as successful. Even still, don't get as much activity as Binding of Isaac does. So
Which I can't blame them because Binding of Isaac is a fantastic game. I
yeah.
mean, if you haven't played it yet, all means go do it. Binding of Isaac is phenomenal. Binding of Isaac Rebirth is the latest version of it, and it's great. You'll be playing that game for quite a while. The new expansion is called Repentance, which I've read some interviews with Edmund McMillan about, and apparently it's supposed to be the final expansion to the game, which we'll see if that's the case. But it's basically like a glorified sequel, is how he announced it. They've added
Okay.
so much to it that it's basically a sequel in the game, which is
Does
cool
say
to see, man. Binding of Isaac's great. I mean, when it came out, it came out in Flash back in like what 2010, 2011,
he said
and
this is bigger than Rebirth was to the
yeah,
original Flash game. So
yes. Which
basically a
I mean,
sequel.
oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm just reading what is written here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bigger than what Rebirth was to the original Flash game. And he said his words is basically a sequel at this point, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Um, which I'm cool with, man. I like Binding of Isaac. I mean, the more Binding of Isaac content, the better. Binding of Isaac's a great game.
Yeah.
It's probably like one of the few like roguelites I can keep going back to and like still play because there's so much random shit to it. I love it. I love Binding of Isaac.
Even the mod support, which I really like. I think that was one of the big things that helped me get into that game were the mods because there's a mod that tells you once you get near an item, it tells you what it is and what it does. Where in the original, you have no idea what anything does until you fucking pick it up, and it's like,
And even
oh,
then, it's a
this,
vague description.
yeah, yeah. It's like all souls go to heaven, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. So it's cool to see the community really has taken a life of its own, man. Like it's the mod support behind it's phenomenal. The dev support behind it's great. Definitely. If you're listening, you haven't played Binding of Isaac yet, fucking do yourself a favor, go do it. Repentance comes out December 31st, 2020. So it'll be cool to see that at the end of the year, something to look forward to. On top of 2020 ending, I think everyone's ready for 2020 to be over.
Yeah.
And there's something I want to talk about. I added to the show notes here. The Monster Hunter movie got a teaser trailer,
Oh,
and it features Mila Jovovich from Resident Evil.
well, didn't we already know
And
she was in it?
we already know she's in it, but we actually got to see some
Wait, what the fuck am I
footage.
looking at?
Exactly, dude. It has Tony Jaa from Ong Bak, the Muay Thai warrior movies. It doesn't look good. Okay.
Why do they have like miniguns?
Okay, so I did a lot of research on this movie, probably more research than it deserves. And the story is that some Marines in the US military got transported to the world of Monster Hunter. And they realized pretty quickly that their technology is useless. And if they
Why?
want to hunt monsters, they got to do it the
With
old-fashioned way
swords?
with swords and shit. Yeah.
How does that make
There,
sense?
there's there, there's There is some screenshots of Mila Jovovich using dual blades from the Monster Hunter games, but she's using, this is a pet peeve of mine. She's using standard bone dual blades against the Diablos, which like that's a high rank monster. What the fuck are you doing using scrub weapons on a high rank monster? But whatever. God, it doesn't, dude. I'm not excited to see this. It's made by Paul, what's his name? Or not Paul Anderson, W.S. Anderson, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson, the guy who directed the Resident Evil movies. Which already that tells you like what you're in for.
I
He
don't
did
understand.
the Resident Evil movies. He did oh god, what else did he do? He did the first Mortal Kombat movie. He did the Resident Evil movies. And I believe he did the Underworld movies, but I might be making that up.
So he makes bad movies.
He makes bad movies that people like for some reason.
I
Okay,
who
he didn't do
thought
Underworld. He did do the Dead or Alive movies though. So
great. Who thought this was a good idea? Who signed off on this and was like, "Oh, yep, that's Monster Hunter."
here's what pisses me off about it, man. I think Monster Hunter could be a good movie. The problem is, and this happens anytime Hollywood makes a movie based on any property, that they Hollywood the fuck out of it. They change so much of it to make it appeal to the lowest common denominator of moviegoer.
But
Like
like,
they
if
want
you're
to they want to. Oh,
making,
sorry.
well, I was just gonna say, if you're making a movie called Monster Hunter based on Monster Hunter, you already know the audience that entails, right? You
Yeah,
shouldn't try to be like, oh, but what if we brought in like the moms and the kids and the dads who want to go see this awesome action flick, and like that's not what, like, if you're making a Resident Evil, if you made a Zelda movie, you wouldn't like get, yeah, what if we had some Marines and they got sucked into the Zelda universe? Like, what?
yeah,
Like, why is that always what it boils down to?
exactly. And it pisses me off because, again, they're trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator of moviegoer. They're trying to make a movie everyone likes, not a movie a lot of people love. And that's the problem with Hollywood.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're already making, if you've already decided to make Monster Hunter, you already know the audience for that. There's no broader appeal. There's no broadening
Exactly.
that up. Like, that's what I don't understand.
Exactly.
You've already signed
Exactly.
off on what you know to be a pretty niche thing. There's no opening that up for people.
Exactly. And it's ridiculous to do that. And I'm pissed that this is what we're seeing. I hope I'm surprised and the movie's good, but it's probably not gonna be. I mean, let's be honest here.
No, unless this is
The
from the
CGI looked
first,
cool.
unless this is like the first 3.5 minutes of the movie. Um, like, because then it would kind of make sense. But even then, like, it would be better off if they were just from that world. Like, don't give me this, I'm a Marine and this is the real world and this is the other world. Like, no, just give us the
Just give me
Monster Hunter
Monster Hunter.
world. Yeah, it should just
Yeah,
be Monster Hunter.
exactly. And that's the bummer of it, dude. And they did the same thing with I don't know if you remember the Dark Tower movie when that came out.
No.
They fucking genericized. So Dark Tower, little mini rant here, is a is a series of 6 books from Stephen King. It is a weird and wonderful series that somehow is canon to all of Stephen King's other books in ways I'm not going to bother explaining because that would take too much time. The Dark Tower is a crazy, weird, wonderful series, and they tried to cram the whole story into a 2-hour movie. And it went about as well as you expect. And it was the same problem. They tried to make this broad appeal, inoffensive, not too weird movie. And I'm getting the same vibe from Monster Hunter.
The
And
the comments on this
weird.
video are
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. it pisses me off. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I fully expect this movie to be dog shit. I have zero hope in this movie. It's going to be awful.
Yeah, wow.
Hamtaro said, I don't know why people think Japan makes good live action adaptations of anime and games. You're right. They don't. I don't care what anyone says. It's the same. Japan does the same thing that American Hollywood does. The only difference is they have a lower budget when they do it, and they try too hard to stick to the source material by copying and pasting scenes line for line without thinking of the context and what they mean. They just want to have that scene there to have that scene there without making it work in the new format. I would argue it's just as bad, if not worse, than what America's doing.
I should give everything to India, Bollywood. They never fuck up.
Which I've talked with some friends about this. I think a live action Monster Hunter could work if, let's say, like Netflix issued a live action Monster Hunter series. I think it could work if you gave someone with enough a creative person enough freedom to do what they want with it. You can have something special instead of making this watered down, genericized Monster Hunter movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, and even like just making like, because I know there's gonna be like TV show adaptations of like The Last of Us is getting the HBO show
Yeah.
and shit like that. These are games that are already pretty much movies though. Monster Hunter um is very much not like that. So you really got to be super
Yeah.
creative when you're trying to adapt that into film or live action
Exactly, and
anything.
I think it's definitely possible that with the right creativity. And cooking is fun. I see your comment. Netflix and the Dragon's Dogma anime. For every Dragon's Dogma anime, there is a Castlevania anime and the Daredevil live action series. Netflix is hit and miss with it, but I think my argument was if they give someone enough creative freedom and they hire the right person, they can make something wonderful with this instead of trying to water everything down and have it appeal to everybody.
It's always
Embrace the weirdness.
it's always the ones we don't want to get movies too. Like we still don't have a Metal Gear movie, still don't have a Halo movie, but we got a Prince of Persia and an Assassin's Creed and a Monster Hunter and a Resident Evil, sure. Like people could want that, but they fucked up.
Yeah.
And Warcraft, it's always the ones you don't want to get movies, but the ones that most people want to have movies still don't.
And it's funny because I did watch the Sonic movie with my wife, and it's not bad. It's not a great movie, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I heard that was all right.
Yeah,
We got
it's pretty
three
funny.
Tomb Raider movies.
Yeah, I heard Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider kind of came and went though. It was
Yeah.
announced it was happening, and then I heard nothing about it when they came out. So that's not a good sign for that. I don't know, man. I'm not excited for the Monster Hunter movie at all. I'm not gonna watch it. I know I probably will watch it when it comes out, as much as I don't want to, just so I have something to shit talk about it. But I'm not gonna pay full price for it. I'm gonna wait till it comes to the cheap seats. That's what I did with with Cats. I saw Cats cost me a $2 ticket, and it was worth it.
Nice.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen Cats yet, Jesus fucking Christ, that movie, goddamn, goddamn, dude. Seriously, have yourself. I don't care what you do. Pour yourself a beer, smoke a bowl, whatever you gotta do, but do it. Watch that movie. It's worth the ride if you can get it on the cheap.
I like how everyone showed up in the stream at the same time, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what you guys are doing together, but
It's good to see everyone here, though. You get to hear me rant about movies and Monster Hunter.
Yeah, we do this
So like every other stream.
live on
So like every other
twitch.tv slash
stream.
Gameoverse. So
Yep. And that's the fun of being live, man. You have people coming in, saying outlandish shit like they didn't like the Castlevania anime.
really hating on Angelina Jolie too. I thought I like her. Well, I used to like her, but I thought she
Uh,
was great in Beowulf. I think she played her part well there. Anyway,
what? Angelina Jolie did a great job playing some crazy psychopathic maniac.
yeah.
Someone stop the presses. Oh wait, that's just Angelina Jolie being Angelina Jolie. But no, oh god, Beowulf is a shit movie too.
I like that movie, dude. Every time I play Skyrim, there's like the king's name was Hrothgar, and there's a high Hrothgar in Skyrim, and every time it makes me think of that. Anyway,
anyway, the upcoming Watch Hunter movie doesn't look good. I'll probably still watch it so I can make fun of it. Because that's what you do when you're a fan, man. You're there to praise the good shit and make fun of the bad shit.
yeah,
Yep, that's Monster Hunter the movie. That's just a teaser trailer. So it's not a full trailer yet, but I'm not gonna hold my breath, man. It's not gonna be a good movie. Let's leave it at that. It's not gonna be good. We got some trailers, man. Cyberpunk 2077 released their Seize the Day trailer, which I did not watch because I'm trying to a little late in the game, but I'm trying not to
it's
overhype
not
myself,
really.
but I don't think that's possible.
It's just Keanu Reeves talking at the camera.
Oh,
Like
that's cool. I like Keanu Reeves.
it's
I
like they're
think every
probably just. This is probably what they're gonna air on commercials and shit on TV.
yeah.
But
Which I'm excited. I'm glad that they're doubling down on the Keanu Reeves marketing. It's gonna be
yeah,
super distracting though once his character shows up in the game. All I'm gonna see is Keanu Reeves, dude.
yeah, pretty much.
We also got a story trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I've made the jokes before, but it's kind of weird. We're seeing an Assassin's Creed Viking game because Vikings weren't exactly known for their cunning and their subtlety. Like I think Viking assassin is like, kind of an oxymoron, but whatever.
Well, they're not really like assassins anymore. Like
Yeah,
they
I
kind of got
know.
away from that. Like the first game was really the only one where it was like, no, you got to play this stealthy. And after that, they just gave you swords and shit. And well, I mean, you had a sword in the first game, but like you couldn't fight anything head on in the first game. You had to
Yeah,
run if like more than two people showed up. Now you can just fucking just it's a combat game.
yeah. Which
But
I mean, if that's what makes sales, man. I mean, action RPGs are fun games. I don't care about the story for Assassin's Creed. There's so many games, dude. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Um, I heard Origins was fun, but
yeah,
there's been so many games like I don't want to go back into it. Um, we did get a new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War trailer, specifically showing off their zombies game mode,
yeah. It
which is cool
looks
to
like
see.
zombies.
Yeah, which is cool to see. I like the zombie stuff from Call of
You
Duty. Yeah.
oh, you're the one.
What?
You're the guy that fucking keeps asking for this.
I think Call of Duty Zombies is cool, man. I spent a lot of time with zombies on Black Ops.
Black Ops, it was lightning
Um,
in a bottle. Like no one expected that. Like you beat the game, and then it was like it throws you into like it doesn't even ask you. You beat the game after the credits. It loads you into zombies, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then that was
uh,
it.
that was World
Um,
at War that did that.
oh shit. You're right. You're right. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but Black
that's
Ops
when it was
expanded on
cool.
it.
That's when
Yeah,
it was cool. I think because no one expected it. Nazi zombies. It was funny. Now they're just kind of just it's getting long in the tooth. I think the joke is over, It's not funny anymore. Um, I don't know.
I mean,
People
horde
still
modes
like
are
it.
fun. Zombies are fun. I mean, what's the problem with combining the two, man? Um, I think it's a fun game mode. I haven't played Call of Duty Zombies since Black Ops, so maybe it's shitty now, but I don't know.
Um, I don't know. It's zombies. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
You
It's
run
not enough. Like,
backwards and
yeah,
shoot.
it's not enough to like get you go buy the game. I mean, anyone who's gonna buy this game was gonna buy it regardless if zombies was in it or not. I
Yeah.
doubt anyone saw this trailer and was like, "Oh, zombies! I'm gonna buy Call of Duty Cold War now."
Well, that's the thing. They haven't even shown like multiplayer yet, which is what
Yeah,
everyone wants. Like you're showing me the campaign. I'm like, no, but what about the multiplayer though? What about because no one plays a camp. I mean, I do, but like I don't care.
we're the minority here.
Yeah. Um. So I don't know. And then zombies, whatever. I don't care about this. It's the same every time. And then people find out like the best way to do it. And if you don't do it that way, they get pissed the fuck off, and then it just ruins
Yeah.
the fun.
In a good trailer though, we got Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, Champions Unite.
Yeah.
That shows off the playable champions that you know about from Breath of the Wild, but never got to really see in action until now. And it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. Like, honestly, dude, Hyrule Warriors is the best way they could have handled this story before Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted something to show off, like, what happened there, whether it was like an animated series or like a manga or something. But when they announced, oh, we're gonna have a prequel to Breath of the Wild, that's gonna be a Hyrule Warriors game, I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even think of that. That's amazing. That is the best way they could have handled it. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks dope as shit. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I need to like they either need to announce a new Switch model soon, or I'm just gonna have to end up buying a Switch at the most inopportune time. I feel like as soon as I buy one now, it's gonna be, hey, look at these new Switches that are coming out, and I'll be like, fuck. Or I can find a way to fix my current one, but I don't know about that. So
Um, One thing I'm excited with Hyrule Warriors is so I did some digging, specifically with the video game story time. They're a great YouTube channel that looks a lot into the backstory surrounding a lot of these weird game announcements. And one cool thing that they talked about is when Hyrule Warriors was pitched to Nintendo, the original one, the intention was to make it more Zelda and less Dynasty Warriors. Until Shigeru Miyamoto stepped in, he's like, no, 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 no. We're making the Zelda game. You guys just focus on your Dynasty Warrior stuff. Just put a bunch of enemies for us to hack at. Which is surprising to me because Hyrule Warriors, the original, I don't know if you played it, but there is enough Zelda in there to differentiate it from normal Dynasty Warriors games.
yeah, oh, it's very Zelda.
Yeah, it
It's
was
very
very
Zelda.
Zelda. And for what I was told, they're doing an opposite approach to this one. They're doubling down on the Zelda stuff. So to see more Zelda stuff in this new Hyrule Warriors game, it's basically Zelda from what they've been talking about. It's a Zelda game with like Dynasty Warriors gameplay. That'd be cool
The
to see,
only
man. I'm excited.
the only way I can imagine that is if they did, if it was open world, like
Like
that
Dynasty
last
Warriors
Dynasty
9.
Warriors, like the shitty one, but like if they made that good and put Zelda in it.
Yeah, like I'm excited, dude. Like it's still excuse me, we still got a ways before it comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm ready, dude. I'm ready for this. Let's do it. It looks dope. We also got a trailer for Super Mario Brothers 35, the Super Mario Brothers Battle Royale that we joked about for a while up until it happened.
Yep.
I think when the Tetris Battle Royale got announced, we were like, "What's next? Mario Battle Royale?" And sure enough,
They did it, man.
they did
I've
it.
watched some people play this, man, and it looks like it's smart what they did with this, man. Like it's they did stuff that I wouldn't even thought about. Like so
Yeah.
you get like every Mario game has like a time limit, but you usually get like 300 seconds.
Yeah.
This game gives you 30 seconds. I think it's like 30 seconds, and the more enemies you kill, it adds to your timer.
Which is
But
dope.
you have to like you if you stomp on them, you get more time than if you like shoot them with like a fire flower,
Ooh.
which is smart. And then like certain enemies give you more points. Like Bowser gives you like 30 seconds. The coins, you can use the coins to like spin a roulette wheel, and it gives you power ups, which is awesome because then it gives
I
you
love
like
that.
because it makes you if the timer forces you to speed run, but if you like focus on getting as many coins as you can get as well, then you can keep hitting that roulette wheel. It's like it's super smart, man. What they did with this, it's more than I thought they were
I
gonna do.
Yeah, dude, I like that a lot. Like, there's a lot more thought into it than you would expect there to be. I'm excited. I'm downloading it right now, actually. So I'll probably try that out for a little bit and give my opinion.
Yeah,
But it looks dope as shit. I'm excited. It sucks that it's a limited time item for some reason. It's only good till like the end of March,
yep,
which doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Like, you went through the effort to like release it. Why put a limited time on it?
yep.
At
I
least
guess we'll.
charge for it after March or something. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
It's Nintendo's gonna do Nintendo shit. That's
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Fucking
maybe
Nintendo wants
Grumble
to go
says
and be
maybe they will
weird.
bundle it with a Mario Maker sequel. Here's the
Maybe.
thing, actually, because what they could have done with this is actually put it into Mario Maker as like a separate mode, and then you wouldn't just have Super Mario Brothers 1, but you'd have Mario Brothers 2, you have Mario Brothers 3. It'd be dope if they added the lost levels because the entirety of that first Mario Brothers game is in here. It's all every world, World 1 to World 8, every level. And then it kind of like rotates them. Like sometimes it rotates randomly. You can pick a level or just go front to back. Yeah, it would have been dope if they put it into Mario Maker, which, I think would have been the smarter move. But, what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, excuse me. Nintendo's gonna do what Nintendo's. Nintendo does what Nintendo's.
Yeah.
Um, we'll have to wait and see what they do with it, man. I doubt they're just gonna drop that project completely, but we'll have to see what they do, man. It would be a bummer if they did because it's a cool idea. It's a waste to make it so limited.
Yeah.
In other news, we got a new season trailer for the fourth season pass of Tekken 7. Holy Christ. The season 4 pass comes with the updates comes some new moves, new UI, new ranking system. But more importantly, the first character is Kunimitsu from past Tekken games. She's a lesser known character from past Tekken games, along with her map for Million Gates. I am surprised Tekken's still going as hard as it is, man. I mean, that game came out like what? Like 2016, 2015?
Man, I don't even. No, 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 no. That game was like 2017.
I think it came out in arcades in 2015 though, like in Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hold up, let me check. Googling. Um, it released arcades worldwide March 18, 2015, and it was released on PS4, Windows, and Xbox One in 2017.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a huge Tekken fan, which is funny to say because I like fighting games, but I'm not Tekken's not my jive, man. But I did play some Tekken. It's fun. It's a fun game. I'm not gonna shit on it. It's a fun game. I can see the appeal for it. What I'm excited to see is what the guest character is going to be for this new season pass, because it seems like every season they have a new guest character.
Oh yeah,
You had Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, Negan from Walking Dead,
Negan was
Geese
crazy.
Howard, yeah, Geese Howard from King of Fighters. So I'm curious, like, who's going to be their guest character for this season? It'll be cool. We'll have to wait and see. If there's one thing Namco does really well with their fighting games, it's their guest characters. They do a great job with their guest characters. They put a lot of work into them to make them feel like how you expect them to feel. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm bad at Tekken, so I don't like it.
yeah, I'm bad at it. I like it, but I'm still bad at it. I'm dog shit at Tekken, but that's okay. I'm dog shit at a lot of games, but I still like playing them. Um,
Cooking is fun asked, did Wasabi ever comment on the sexing in Baldur's Gate 3 and the cringy design art for it?
wait,
No.
what?
I don't know shit about Baldur's Gate, so I can't comment on it.
There's a sex scene in Baldur's Gate 3.
There's sex in Baldur's Gate.
Is it like bad?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Not my scene.
Whoa. So apparently, I hope this is true. This article I found, the sex scenes can be done with players in your party. Specifically, you can do it in multiplayer,
Nice.
which like that's kind of funny to me. Also a little cringy if you're playing with like a random and they keep trying to fuck you, but
I don't think you can just like fuck anyone you run into. I'm sure it's like
yeah, this is definitely. I didn't know this was a thing. I definitely want to look more into that.
I'm sure there needs to be consent.
Yeah,
Hey, wanna fuck? Yeah, it's fuck, and then you fuck.
yeah. I'm sure there's like a consent thing. But if you play with some random who's constantly like, "I want some fuck," you want some fuck, just constantly, that would get annoying.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this game, so
I did not know this was a thing in this game. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna look into that though, and I'll have an opinion on it later today. Um, we also got a trailer for Amnesia Rebirth, which I thought was a sequel, or not a sequel, a remake of Amnesia. It's not. It's a totally new game,
yeah.
which I think we talked about last week or the week before that Amnesia Rebirth was happening.
Yeah.
This gameplay trailer looked interesting. It looks like Amnesia, dude.
Yeah.
Like it looks like old school Amnesia with a slightly better graphics engine. Um, Not a lot there to say about it. It's Amnesia. If you like Amnesia, this is more up your alley. It looks better than a Machine for Pigs, which I know got a lot of flack from Amnesia fans. So this looks more like Roots Amnesia, what fans liked about it.
Yeah. Amnesia
Um,
is another one of those games that I don't know much about.
I'm not a fan of them just because I don't like survival horror games where I can't fight back.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I know people are. I could hear people like typing, like, well, it's more realistic." No, it's not. Like, I'm not going to sit here with like a sword and shield and try to fight back like intensively. But if I have no other option, I'm not going to sit there and let my ass get kicked. I'm going to try to throw a chair or something. You know what I mean? Like, I like horror games that have some sort of survival, like some sort of combat, because I think that
Like
adds another layer to the game, like
at least
managing
let
your
me throw
resources.
something.
Yeah. Uh, Grummy Dunk says the FPS looks really rough in this trailer. It does. It looks really
Yeah.
rough, but they'll probably fix it, like you mentioned. They'll
Still
probably fix
early.
it. Yeah, it's a really early build of the game. So, and all the other Amnesia games ran just fine. So I doubt this would be the black sheep that runs like shit, or that runs like shit. We also got a trailer for Jackbox Party Pack 7, which, I mean, have you
Still
played
making them.
Jackbox yet?
Yeah. I mean there's a lot of
It
them, but
is. Yeah, it's so much fun. I love me some Jackbox. My brother picked it up forever ago, and I really liked it, dude. I like the vibe of Jackbox. It's cool to see another expansion coming out.
They keep changing the games that are in there, and some of
Yeah,
them are hit and miss. Um, I think the last game had one where you're robots and you're like you're rapping robots. So you have to like make battle raps against like other players. And that one was really cool, but like it's not going to be in this one. They're going to have a different set of games. So, but then there's games that they always have, like
yeah.
the traditional Jack box, and then um, I think Quiplash. Yeah,
Quiplash is fun. Excuse me. I'm excited, man. Anytime there's new Jackbox stuff, I like to see it because it's a fun game to play. I would actually love to play this on stream one day with like some of our viewers because Jackbox is like perfect for that.
yeah. Well, especially since no one needs to own the game. It's just
Yeah, you can just get
I've
on
run
internet
it.
and play on your phone.
I've run it once, but you really need people to play with. You don't always get that, so
Yeah, I'll play with you. It'll be fun. I'll play with you. We'll do a stream on it one day. We'll talk about it. Um, this one I wanted to talk about this one for a while, but I knew it would come up in the podcast.
yeah,
But Sky Oblivion, the Oblivion Rap remaster in Skyrim, is available, and the entirety of Oblivion is playable in the Skyrim engine. This has been a thing that has been worked on for quite a while, but it's finally done. I think it finished like last week they finished it.
yeah, like real early or real soon they
Yeah.
did.
Like it's so cool, dude. Like a full I wouldn't call it a full conversion mod. Well, kind of.
It
It's
is
Skyrim, or it's Oblivion in
because
Skyrim.
they had to remake all the assets. Bethesda
Yeah,
wouldn't allow them to just copy it from Oblivion, so they had to rebuild everything.
that is crazy. Do you know because Oblivion and Skyrim are two different games? Do you know
Yeah,
if because the game's in in Skyrim, is it have Skyrim's progression system, or is it like Oblivion's progression system?
it'll have. So they try to adhere to Oblivion as much as they could, right?
Okay.
So the I think the main benefit is just the upgraded like combat system. Like the magic system in Oblivion was real rudimentary, where it's more fleshed out in Skyrim. Um, Dual wielding in Skyrim, like shit like that. Like
Yeah.
a lot of that is where the main benefits come from, and
Right on.
especially the stability of the Skyrim engine is more
Mhm.
just more robust. So
It's funny to say that because stability speaking, Skyrim still runs like shit, but
yeah, well, Skyrim Special Edition is a lot better. They made some meaningful changes there that make it crash a lot less. But it's been a while since I played Oblivion, so
I
um,
have never played Oblivion, so
oh yeah, this was my. It's crazy because a lot of people come in on Elder Scrolls at a different point.
yeah.
And like I know a lot of people, Morrowind was their first one because that was the first
Uh
one on console.
that was the first one I played. I didn't really like
Yeah,
it though. I just kind of played it, but I was like, it also came out when I was like, God, when did Merwin come out? I must have been like a kid. Hold on.
yeah. Like that was the first one on console. That was on Xbox, which sowed the seeds for what happened recently with Bethesda. But Grimble says
Yeah,
2002.
yeah, 2002. That was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
I am 27, so I was like 9 when Merwin came out. So I played it and I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I must
quite
have been.
understand like how to progress in the game. But I did like how like open it was. It kind of let me do whatever I wanted. That part I understood, like even in my young age. I
Yeah,
probably like it a lot more now, but whatever.
Oblivion was the first one I played, and even then, I didn't totally understand like what the like. I didn't know how to do the main quest, so I was just running around doing, just talking to everyone, doing side shit, and not really knowing what goal I had. But as long as I always had a quest, I was jumping into Oblivion gates and like closing those and shit. Like I didn't even play that game knowing there was a main quest. I just kind of just ran around and just did shit, which was cool.
you
It was like cool as fuck. Uh,
you're just like a murder hobo, just running around taking on random things.
yeah, I think I was like a thief. I think I did the Thieves Guild, and even that, it was like super difficult to get into the Thieves Guild. Like you really had to like do the trials and shit like that. I think I did the Dark Brotherhood, which again, like I didn't realize. Like I think you killed someone, and then you just go to sleep and wake up, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like that shit was cool as fuck to me. Just because like everything just kind of happened and it just all felt natural.
Yeah, I
Um,
know the vampire system was another one that was like really cool
yeah,
because you could randomly get bitten by a vampire and you go to sleep and it's like, oh, I don't feel good. Why does the sunlight hurt?
yeah, man. Remember when these games were good? Uh,
Oh man, this
but
might be worth checking out then. So I don't know if you've played this mod, but do you think someone who's never played Oblivion, do you think this might be their a good like first encounter to it?
um, maybe I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to go back to Oblivion as it is now. Um,
Yeah.
so I think like the controller support even is a big thing that this would have. Um, like that would be like a good thing to have in this kind of game. So yeah,
All
I
right.
think this might be a good way to get into it for the first time.
Cool. I'll check it out. I
But
love
like,
the modding scene behind Skyrim, dude. Like, there's so much cool shit that's better than Skyrim.
yeah,
Ah, man, that's so cool to see. Um, in other trailers, well, actually, no, game releases. We have coming out October 8th. We have Ikenfell.
yes,
I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It looks like a Zelda clone.
that's what kind of looks like. This is actually, I think this is going to be on Game Pass when it comes out. I think.
Oh, it's an
Um,
RPG. It's like it's oh god, what is this? It looks kind of like Mega Man Battle Network, but like with more tactics to it. I'm not sure.
yeah,
It's a,
it's
it's,
like a
it's RPG for sure though.
puzzle RPG.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think this is going to be on Game Pass. This is a Humble game, Humble Bundle,
Oh yeah.
published this. Um, which is owned by IGN or IGN's parent company, I guess. Um,
So if you
yeah.
see IGN review this game, take it with a grain of salt. um,
Well, I think
I mean,
they
you can
said they
take
would
you can
not.
take it.
They're not going to review any of the Humble games. I think they said they were. That's how they're going to do that. But yeah,
Oh, that's good. Good to see them showing some integrity.
yeah. IGN gets a lot of
It
shit,
looks
but they're all right.
yeah. It looks cool as fuck. Like it looks like a fun game. If it's going to be coming out on Game Pass, I'll definitely check it out. We were huge advocates for Game Pass here on the show. So Microsoft give us some money because we talk about Game Pass so much.
It's a
But
good deal. You'd be
it's a great
stupid not
deal.
to like.
Yeah, $15 a month. You get a whole fucking like library of games you can play from. And now that Microsoft owns Bethesda, you can start seeing the Fallouts and Elder Scrolls coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, Doom
Just do
Eternal's
it.
on there now, so
Yeah. Just do it. Just go get Game Pass. $15 a month. I think your first month is like $1
yeah.
or
There's actually an
$5, something
exploit.
like that.
There's an exploit you can do to get every month for $1, by just like
Really?
using different email addresses. I mean, if you wanted
Oh,
to
fuck.
do some shit like that.
Oh, that's way too much effort. No,
Yeah,
I'll just
but
stick with my. I mean, $15 a month isn't bad for what you're getting.
yeah. There's
And if you
actually
don't
not a
use
lot
it,
of games coming out this week.
yeah. We have that Iconfall coming out October 8th. We also have Ride 4, which is like a motorcycle racing game. We talked about it a little bit. It looks okay. Then October 9th, we have FIFA 21 coming out. And that's about it, dude. Like, I mean, it's a FIFA game. If you like FIFA, nothing we do is going to stop you from playing it.
Yeah. Slow week for games there, man. It's
Very slow week, but again, I think like there's enough going on that we had quite a bit to talk about. Like a lot of things we talked about warranted quite a bit of discussion. Show highlights. The Monster Hunter movie looks fucking terrible, and Steven Minecraft looks cool. If you want
yeah.
the too long didn't listen version of our podcast.
Yeah, so
Yep.
guess that's
So
it.
that's it, man. That's it. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
I'll be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. So
I
yeah.
am probably gonna go eat because I am starving. I haven't eaten anything today.
All right, I had a fat meal right before this, so
Not me.
very fat meal. So
I bought funny little callback to another podcast. I bought a bunch of hot dogs, so I've been eating hot dogs past couple of days.
nice, nice.
Yeah, that's a callback to a earlier podcast.
Love me a good wiener. So
And I went to Costco and they had like a pack of like four like packs of like Hebrew Nation all beef hot dogs, and I'm like, fuck yes, get
nice,
that in my body.
nice.
I want all those big beef franks in my body.
Well, that's gonna do it here.
Yep, that's it.
Twitch.tv/Gameoverse, YouTube.com/C/Gameoverse, Gameoverse.com/Discord. I should do all the links like that actually.
Yep.
But that's
Probably a good idea.
yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. MySpace.com/Gameoverse.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. You're all beautiful people.
Beautiful.
Even you cooking, because you don't like Castlevania, but I'll forgive you.
All right. Thanks. Peace out.
Bye.